Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us on this second day of our press conferences, the Elite Women's Press Conference, this 39th Virgin Money London Marathon. A big year, as Hugh Brasher said yesterday, for the fact that we're going to go through the £1 billion mark raised for charity. But this is about the elite athletes and our elite ladies. And Spencer Barden and his team have done an incredible job in pulling together an elite field, the like of which has probably never been seen before. And I know we use a lot of these superlatives and try and better everything each year, and it's hard to get the phraseology right, but it is a spectacularly strong field. Before I introduce the four athletes with us, can I just ask you, and I'm sure most of you are pros and you've done this already, but turn your phones off or turn the volume down on your phones. There are cameras running, of course. Weather for Sunday, still not much change from yesterday, about 11 or 12 degrees centigrade with some winds from the west. I know yesterday somebody said that there are, I think, 25 mph gusts expected, but I've not seen evidence of that yet, and of course it's still a few days away. But the weather, temperature-wise, looking pretty good. The four athletes with us this morning are all in the top 10 all-time in the marathon distance. There are 6 athletes in the field here in London this year who have broken 2:20. For those of you who like your statistics, 31 women have now broken the 2:20 mark. I can remember not very many years ago, it was only 9 or 10 women had got that astonishing figure beside their names, but now 31 women have broken 2:20. It's becoming more and more common. A total of 18 ladies in the lineup on Sunday have broken the 2:30 barrier, which I guess is the benchmark to world class. But we do have the cream with us here this morning, and sometimes it gets hard to decide who we should actually chat to up here on this stage because their athletes are such supreme champions. All 4 of the athletes here this morning are World Marathon Majors champions from London, New York, Chicago and Berlin. You can't get much better than that. Of course, you will be aware that Tirunesh Baba pulled out just 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was, as she's expecting her second child. But that has hardly dented the field much. It is incredibly strong. We have a 3-time reigning Berlin champion with us, a lady who has a best of 2 hours, 18 minutes, 11 seconds. It was a course record when she won in Berlin last September, almost, of course, overshadowed unfairly by the incredible world record of Eliud. She was 4th here in London last year, but she is a 3-time Berlin champion, and she will put up a very, very tough race on Sunday, I'm sure. Please put your hands together for Gladys Cheruiyot. The youngster of our 4 ladies here this morning, at just 25, she's 10 years younger than any of the other 3 here. She's the Chicago champion, of course, the Bank of America Chicago Marathon winner last October in 2 hours, 18 minutes, 35 seconds. And she is, I suppose you could say, with that sort of CV, it sounds wrong to say it, but almost the dark horse for Sunday. She's in stunning form. A couple of very fast half-marathon wins in recent weeks. In Houston back in January, 65 minutes, and then another slightly quicker 65-minute clocking in Bahrain just a month ago in the middle of March. She is in supreme form and might cause a shock on Sunday. It's Bridget Kosgei. Possibly the greatest marathon runner in history is with us. 4 times New York champion, 3 times London champion. She is a world record holder. For those of you who appreciate that there's a difference between a mixed race and a women-only race, Mary Keitany it is who won the London Marathon back in 2017 in 2:17:01. This is her 7th visit to London. She loves it here in London, and it's great to have her back. Mary Keitany. And of course, our defending champion from last year, 35 years old now, an astonishing track career behind her, 2 5,000-metre world titles, 2 10,000-metre world titles. She was 4th in London in 2017, and then last year in that sweltering heat, it got up to over 24 degrees centigrade. She stormed to a personal best time and victory in 2 hours, 18:31. Vivian Cheruiyot. So I'd ask Mary and Vivian if you could join me up here, please. Thank you. Vivian, welcome back.
Thank you.
Returning champion. Last year, just before London, you went to New York to run the half marathon and you dropped out. It was a very cold day. You said you had breathing problems. And then you came to London and produced that perfectly judged win. Well, this year, just a month ago, you went to Lisbon and you won the half marathon there in a personal best, a very quick 66-minute clocking. Do you feel you are in better shape this year? That was a personal best in Lisbon. Are you in better shape?
First of all, I want to say thank you for welcoming me again here in London. Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. About last year in New York, I didn't finish the race because of breathing system. I had a problem with my chest. But I was in good shape. This year, I had a race in Lisbon. I did my personal best of 66:34. What I can say today is I'm in better shape than last year. On Sunday, I hope I'm going to do my best.
Mary, you really went for it here last year. You've got a bit of form in this. You did it in New York a few years ago. You went for a very quick time. And last year, of course, with men's pacemakers, you went out in 67 minutes. And then the wheels came off a little bit and you ended up in fifth place. But you went to New York in November and won very impressively by around 3 minutes, I think, from Vivian. Are you still enjoying your running and are you still feeling as though everything's coming together okay for London?
Okay. First of all, I want to take this golden opportunity to thank all race organizers of London Marathon for inviting me again this year, because coming here for 7 years is not something I'm not taking for granted. I want to say I'm very much happy for coming here to London. And I want to say that I'm very ready to try to do my best on Sunday. I've trained well and I'm focused and very ready.
I think 4 or 5 times in the last 7 years you've done the RAC half marathon in February as part of your preparation, and then it's worked. You've come to London and followed it up 3 times with victory. But Gianni, your agent, told me that after New York last November, you took a little longer to recover from the race, and of course you had an astonishing run there. Your second half was 66.5 minutes. I mean, you stormed through the second half in New York. But why do you think you couldn't run RAC this year and therefore project yourself to London in the usual manner? Why did recovery take longer after New York?
I want to say that last year, I think I ran very fast in half of the race of New York. And you know, New York is not an easy course, it's up and hill. And I wanted to get enough recovery, and that's why I just cancelled the half marathon, so that to be in better recovery for the training for the marathon.
Vivian, you've only run 4 marathons. Are you still learning about the event? Do you still feel a novice coming into these races compared with somebody like Mary, who's run many 26-milers?
For me now, I think I'm learning a lot now, because when I was starting my first marathon in 2017, I was like, am I going to finish it? Even the training was hard to go for long runs and everything, but now I'm getting used, because this is my 5th marathon. I'm getting learning, and it has been easy. So I'm really enjoying now the training and everything.
I suppose a lot of people would equate you to Mo Farah in that you've had a marvellous track career, many world titles, gold medals, some quick times. Now you've moved on to the marathon, but Mo is talking about maybe doing the 10,000 at the World Championships in Doha at the end of this coming summer. Do you miss track? I mean, your last race on the track was what, the 5,000 meters in Rio, so 3 years ago. But do you miss track racing?
Really, I normally miss the track racing, especially the 5K. But my last race was in Rio, 2016, 5,000. When I decided to go for marathon, I decided I'm going to marathon all the way. I cannot come back for 5,000 or 10,000, never.
Mary, have you this is a routine you're so familiar with now, your 7th London Marathon. Have you done everything in the normal fashion in terms of your build-up? And I know you brought the family with you, brought Charles and the children with you. Has everything gone to plan since, say, New Year, since these last 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, I can say that everything has been going on well, and also I want to thank my family for the big support that they are giving unto me, and my training has been well so far, so ready for Sunday.
I mean, you two, when we were backstage just now, you were chatting to each other and you seem good friends, but actually there's quite a challenge building up between the pair of you, in that Vivian, you won in London last year, and Mary, you passed Mary in the latter stages, and then in New York, Mary, you defeated Vivian quite convincingly. But are you very aware of the fact that people regard you as having this big clash on Sunday, or are you still very aware of Bridget and Gladys and many of the others in the race?
For me, I know the rest of the ladies, Bridget and Gladys, Lynn and Masai, and the ladies from Ethiopia. All of us were strong. But for me, personally, I normally say that I'm running as Vivian. I'm running my own race because I don't know how Bridget she trains. I don't know how Mary or Gladys. So on Sunday, I'm running as Vivian. I'm running according to my shape. So that is what became here. So that is my mind. What it tells me that I'm running as Vivian. I'm not running because Bridget is there or somebody is there. I'm running as Vivian, and I'll do my best.
And Mary, have you got your own race plan for Sunday? Have you got it all worked out? Do you know what you want to do on Sunday, or will you follow the pace, for example, through the first half? I mean, we've been talking about 68:30 as the halfway time that's been discussed so far. I know that's to be finalised, but 68.5 for halfway. Do you go into races like this with a strong race plan?
For me, I think you have to follow my fatigue, despite the fact that I have already given the time of maybe halfway in 68:30. So for me, I'm ready, and I think everybody here is in good form, and that's why we are here. So, and for me, I think each and every one of us has just come to try to win. So even me, I'm in that category, and I'm ready. It doesn't matter what the time, but to just run and feel your body, how you are. Because if you have just trained all the way for this marathon, so you have to have all the focuses in this marathon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ladies. I shall open it up to questions now. We have got microphones, so if you could please wait for the mic to be brought to you if you've got any question for either Mary or Vivian. Any questions at all for our two ladies? Yes, Andy.
A question for Mary. As Tim pointed out, you ran very fast second half in New York to win last year. And of course, we know you can set off very fast in London. Would you be thinking of similar tactics to be running hard from the gun?
I think New York was, we were not having pacemakers in New York. So the first race was just quite slowly. So, and I managed to run the last half in a bit faster time. So, and now here in London we have pacemakers. So I think I will not do the way I do it in New York.
Jess, yeah. On the front here.
Just a question for both of you. What's more important on Sunday, winning the race or getting a fast time? If that win doesn't, if it's more tactical, or is it important for you to go quickly?
I think a very interesting thing is to win the race. Yeah.
Vivian, the same for you?
For me, it's to win the race and also to run my personal best.
got to be winning, hasn't it? Any further questions for our ladies? They are, both of the ladies here, and of course Gladys and everybody available for, Gladys and Bridget available for one-to-ones afterwards at the back of the room. And we're not under any time pressure, but if you would like to ask any questions now, please do go ahead, or else we'll wrap it up. Okay.
I want a question.